Hey, what's up? It's your guy Marwin. Today we're making shrimp Creole. I've had a lot of shrimp Creole dishes. Quite often, most of them are just taste like tomato sauce with overcooked shrimp. If you stick around for the entire video, I'm going to show you a few easy steps so that you can make shrimp Creole that's bowl flavored and layered, balancing lots of different flavors in a really cool, dope way to make for an outstanding dish. Meet me in the Food Fidelity kitchen where flavor has risen and every dish has a soundtrack. Let's get to cooking. Things begin with the prep. And this is where flavor hack number 1 of 6, maybe 7 come in. I spent a lot of time on this one. This is really about building that homemade seafood stock. It's really a shrimp stock. All that seafood flavor from the sea is embedded in the shells, the head, the tails, all of the above. So I'm going to add those along with water to my blender and just blend these up into a nice puree. And then, while I have all of that flavor, there, that's going to be the beginnings of the base for this stock. So I'm just going to strain this as much as I can into the pot. Then I'm going to start adding some of my other elements, right? So here I have some cilantro stems and some parsley stems that I have from leftover making chimichurri sauce. I have traditional celery, fresh thyme, some smashed garlic, as well as bay leaf. And then for fun, I'm going to add some allspice berries to kind of add a little more complexity to and character to this stock. Gives it that Caribbean vibe. I add a little bit of salt, not too much because there's plenty of salt in the homemade spice seasoning mix that I'm going to use later. I want the red color to shine in this dish and also that tomato flavor, so I'm adding tomato paste to my stock. I'm going to give it a nice mix and let this simmer for about 20-30 minutes or so. You can let it go longer if you have time, but for me, this is what I was working with. Now I'm just going to strain and reserve that liquid for when I'm ready to add to the rest of the dish. You may have to, work a little bit to kind of get all the liquid out, but you want to maximize all of it. Now I'm going to start on flavor hack number 2, which is kind of a sofrito vibe, but a little different. Taking some inspiration from like a Cuban, Cuban paste. So it's literally garlic, oregano, and salt that I'm going to grind up in a mortar and pestle. If you don't have one, you can simply just cut up the garlic and the oregano really fine and just mix it into the dish when it calls upon that time. But this is really like the bulk of the work for me, which is my elbows, my forearms kind of getting a workout by grinding up that garlic along with the oregano. Once I have it done, I'm going to set that paste to the side and then start working on the shrimp, right? Because this is like a really important step. It's also different than most recipes. So for me, this is flavor hack number 3, where I take a homemade Creole spice mix, add some allspice, ground allspice to it. So you heard the allspice earlier with the stock. I'm also including it in the spice mix. I want to season my shrimp well and just kind of let it marinate. Again, we're going to flavor at every step. We're going to flavor the stock, going to flavor the shrimp, we're going to flavor the tomato mix that we're going to work on later. So now I'm going to work on number 4. I'm basically going to make a tomato juice using heirloom tomatoes. I'm choosing heirloom tomatoes because they're a little more complex, a little more intense in their flavor profile. I have a yellow one for sweetness and a red for tanginess. Set that to the side, just going to puree that, get rid of the seeds and the skin. Now I'm going to sear my shrimp. So this is a technique-based flavor hack number 5, if you're keeping track. 1 to 2 minutes per side is all you need. We don't want these to be overcooked. Plus, we're going to add them to the final dish later. So you just want to kind of bring them along far enough, like as a pre-cook, without overcooking them. Right, so they turn that nice orange or opaque color. You can take them off heat, set them to the side, and then we can really kind of dig in and start working on all the traditional elements of a shrimp Creole dish. That starts with the Holy Trinity, and we're here. Flavor hack number 6. The Holy Trinity is simply, in Cajun cooking, onions, celery, and bell peppers. I'm using orange bell peppers here. You can use traditional green or red or yellow or a combination. I just wanted to visually have orange represented in this dish. I'm going to let that saute for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to add garlic. The garlic you only want to cook for about 30 seconds. You don't want that to cook too long because garlic is pretty delicate, and it will start to become bitter if you cook it too long at that heat level, right? For added measure, I'm going to add some more of my spice mix. It's the same spice mix I've seasoned the shrimp with, but the heat will bloom those spices and kind of intensify the spice flavor. And so, again, this is kind of added to that layered effect. Now at this point, I'm going to start adding my paste first, the tomato paste. So I have tomato paste in the body of the stock, but also in the upfront piece of like making the Creole, right? So that's my garlic paste that I made with the Cuban vibes to it, heavy on the oregano. This is going to have a lot of herbs in it, so this is kind of an herb-forward dish as well. I told you we're going to bring flavors in from a lot of different places, but you want to give this a really, really good mix. Mix in that tomato paste and that garlic paste really well. You want it to kind of dissipate throughout the body of the dish. And don't worry about it. Like, you're going to have to keep stirring a little bit, but the heat will eventually melt the paste, and it will become a little more integrated into the rest of the dish. I'm adding another tomato element. This is fire roasted tomatoes, plus that tomato juice that I mentioned earlier from the heirloom tomatoes that I blended. And then lastly, I have as my final liquid that homemade stock, which is, there's so much flavor in this, and all these things are going to come together to just make just a bomb dope dish. The last hack here is adding the herbs. So I got some fresh thyme and some bay leaf. And then lastly, I'm going to add some more of that spice mix. I added at different points in time because I want that layered effect, and you get the complexity. You'll notice it when you dive into this at the end here. You get all those different elements kind of working together. They're balanced. Don't worry about it. So I'm just going to give these a really good stir, a really good mix, and then let this simmer for about 20 minutes or so. What you want is to concentrate the dish a little more, and all that means is you're going to reduce the liquid down. So this has become a more thicker, less watery sauce. I hate watery shrimp Creole. So you want to cook the liquid down a bit before you start to add in the shrimp for the final element. So I'm just going to let this cook down, let those flavors concentrate. It's ready. I'm going to give these shrimp a bath in this tomato sauce. And there's really little cook time when you add the shrimp because, again, we pre-cooked it with the sear. So I'm going to cook this on heat, no more than 2 minutes, really about the 1 minute, maybe 1.5 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it off heat because when you cook, you take it off heat, it's still going to cook some. And so, again, rather than have like a really chewy, overcooked shrimp, I'm erring on the side of caution. I can always cook a little longer if I need to, but I want juicy shrimp with a little bit of a kind of crunch on the outside with that sear. And that's really the dish. Now, at this point, it's just a question of, do you want to dive into it immediately? Do you want to let it sit a little bit for those flavors to come together even more? For me, I'm going to dive in, serving these over rice. It's a traditional way of having shrimp Creole. If you have leftovers, which is not a bad thing, it's actually a great thing. You can serve these over grits for brunch the next day. That's just kind of my vibe, in terms of what I'm on. And that's really the dish. As you can tell, like, I did a lot to add a lot of complexity and a lot of flavor and boldness to the dish. It's not hard. It's not extra work. It's just being thoughtful and intentional when you're making the dish. And so that's what I want from this dish, taking a simple dish and really just kind of blowing out all those different flavor ingredients and making them work together in harmony. And that's the trick to making a really good shrimp Creole dish. You don't want to have too much of one thing. You want things to be balanced. And so that's time, that's ratio, that's just being smart about the cooking process. You got all the hacks. Make it. Let me know what you think. But I love it. All right, we reached that part in the post will I reveal which song pairs with this dish. Today's track is Janet Jackson's song, Got Till It's Gone. Both the song and the dish move with that low, slow groove. Complex, but on the low. It's one of those things where like you really don't understand how good you had it until the dish is gone. That tomato base is rich, layered, flavorful, just like the track. Dope beat, dope lyrics, and this is really cool, unique vocals from Janet. Both the song and the dish move with a long, slow groove, like Janet's vibe. Every bite hits deeper, reminding you not to take that good stuff for granted. Peep the short, and you can see how the song marries with the dish. All right, that's it. Thanks for vibing with me. And as always, if you like food with soul and the soundtrack, hit that red subscribe button and get updates each week automatically when I post new content. Word. Peace out.